Ram just launched the new Raptor killer, the Ram 1500 TRX. Welcome to the Torq Army channel. My name is Jul Torq. You can also listen to this episode in a podcast form with the Torq podcast. It's available pretty much on all the podcast supplier, I could say, podcast channels. So if you want to listen while driving, while working, just type Torq podcast and you're gonna be able to watch also this episode. All right, today Ram just launched the new Ram TRX, the new Raptor killer, I could say. Ram's been working many years on this truck, and finally the Raptors got some competition out there, finally, from the guys at Ram, and they're not messing around with this new Ram. You know, I just saw the launch today online, and there's a couple of things that they've been improving on that TRX model. So we'll go a little bit deeper into all the details of what makes Ram TRX difference from a Rebel, a Power Wagon, or just a 1500. First of all, yes, finally, we've got some V8 power back in those off-roaders. As a previous Raptor owner, I used to own a Gen 1 with the V8 6.2, and you know, as many of us, you know, when they came out with the Gen 2 Raptor with the EcoBoost, I was not really interested. I know a lot of you guys are really sold on that EcoBoost engine, but for me, you know, as a previous Gen 1 owner, I miss that V8 and all that, and I always thought, you know, it should have a V8 supercharge inside of the Raptor. And right now what Ram is doing is putting the HELLCAT engine under the hood of this new Ram. So you get 702 horsepower, not 707. I have no clue why this one is 702 horsepower and not 707 horsepower, but you know, good powertrain, old school powertrain, I could say. Not as fancy as the EcoBoost you'll find in the Raptor, but it's a powertrain I really love. I drove several HELLCAT models in the past, and it's always been a blast to drive these engines, so I was really looking forward for that Ram. So first of all, a lot of power under the hood. You know, the guys at Ram, you know, they've been tweaking that engine. It's not exactly the same HELLCAT you'll find under the hood of a Challenger. Under the Ram, it's really built to get the vibration. You get a different oil pan. So with that deep sump oil pan, you get, you know, better performance, you know, for your engine while you're really, you know, shaking that engine while doing some off-roading. Also, they've been putting the alternator a little bit higher on that engine, so you can go deeper into the water. Actually, the new Ram TRX can handle up to 32 inches of water. That's pretty deep, and that's, you know, that's pretty cool. I don't think the Raptor can handle that depth of water, especially with the intercooler on the EcoBoost. Another special thing on that engine, you got two huge air filter, 8 by 12 inches, so you got a better airflow, cooler and cleaner air. That air exactly is gonna go through the grill in the front. You can notice that Ram logo is a bit larger than the one you'll find on a Rebel model. Actually, the air is gonna go through the letters, so you've got that huge grill in the front, and also you got that Ram air hood, who's gonna, you know, pump up more and more air into that HELLCAT engine. So one thing is really important about you know, the Ram TRX, everything's been beefed up. You know, something really important about the Ram TRX, you know, differential, you know, everything's been beefed up to get really the abuse of the off-roading and also daily driving and all that. So you don't get only a big engine, but everything else gonna follow, you know, being able to get all that torque and that big power from the HELLCAT, so that's always a plus, you know, when you're buying these type of trucks. You know, I see a lot of guys, they're like, oh yeah, I can, you know, I can swap a supercharger on my truck, and I'm gonna make more power. But the thing is, it's usually when you you know, crank up the power on a stock, let's say a Coyote or a GM and all that, or even a Hemi, is the thing is, the transmission, drive shaft, differential and all that, it's not built to handle all that power, so it doesn't really last. But when you're buying like a Raptor or a TRX, it's built for that. So the TRX, it's about 2 inches higher. I know a lot of you guys were expecting a bit higher than this, but you know, if you want to sell this truck, you know, pretty much everywhere in Canada or in the US, there's some regulation, and you know, around 2 to 2.5 inches, it's really the ideal height. You can really lift your truck, so it's gonna be legal pretty much everywhere. It comes stock with the new Goodyear 35 inches tires, the new Territory Goodyear. Big tires, really wide. I like they're going big with 35 inches. I run you know, 35 on my GMC ET4. These are a nice setup of wheels. You can also have optional bead lock. That's pretty interesting also. So if we look at the design, it's not really the normal Ram, we could say. It's 8 inches wider overall than the Rebel. And we can see the TRX, it's really a mix from the Rebel and also the Power Wagon. So, you know, the design team at Ram been really, you know, been inspired by both models and also the prototype. They've been teasing us a couple of years ago, but a few upgrade also. You know, it's really, you know, a wider stance. You got those really large fender flares. The air go through the ones in the front. It's really good looking from my point of view. I like that hood also. Notice those tiny little lights coming you know, out of the Ram Air. A lot of you guys gonna say like, yeah, it's a little bit like the Raptor, but actually those are marker lights. These are you know, mandatory, I could say, on these type of trucks. So when the truck is oversized, wider, by law, they have to put those lights at every corner of the truck, and also on the higher point of the hood, or I could say. So you'll find a couple of marker lights similar to the Raptor, but it's not only for the style. It's something you need to be legal with those lights. Something I really like about the TRX, a few improvements inside. Really nice. You know, you can find those SRT seats. I really like those seats, and also you got a flat bottom steering wheel. I like that finish they've been doing on that steering wheel. Usually when I drive SRT model, you know, the bottom of the steering wheel, usually it's a cheap plastic and I don't like it, but we don't find that cheap plastic in the TRX. That's a nice improvement, something I really like. They've been moving the shifter in the metal console, so you get a real, you know, gear changer in the center console. So no hubs. They've been replacing that with a bunch of buttons to control your traction, your 4x4 and all that. I think that's a nice move, you know. I like it. It's the first you know, Ram pickup with paddle shifter, so you can switch the gear of your 8-speed transmission. Also, you'll find a heads-up display inside of this new TRX. Also a digital rear view mirror, just like you'll find in a GM products. You know, Ram's been improving a lot their trucks, and I think they're been inspired by the best of the best, so they're picking the best thing they'll find in the Ford and the GM, and they're gonna include them in their products. And you know, they're improving their truck pretty quickly lately, so that's why they're you know, they're getting more and more sales. Also in TRX, just like in any SRT models, you'll find some performance pages and also off-road pages. So you got a bunch of modes, a bunch of options you can play with. There's a Baja mode, a performance mode, towing mode, and all of that. So that's really interesting. It's always fun to play with these, you know, Mopar products, I could say. Also, there's gonna be a lot of accessories available with this TRX. There's the Ram bar. It's kind of like a road bar, comes with you know, some off-road lights on it. You can also put your spare tire inside of the bed, and also you got a nice 5 inches exhaust tips in the back, big ones. It looks really good. So otherwise, then the interior, the style, and the powertrain. Also, obviously, you've got suspension, frame, and everything. That's a big plus. You know, they didn't took only you know, a normal frame from Ram 1500. They add a special new frame. They strengthened that new frame, so it's a big plus, especially when you abuse of your TRX. That was something sometimes was failing on the Raptor side. You get 11.25 inches of clearance. That's pretty much same kind of numbers as the Raptor. Maybe Raptor, if I'm not wrong, it's a little bit higher than that. You've got 2.5 inches built-in special shocks built with Ram. I've been looking online right now, and a lot of the Raptor guys like, oh, I was expecting some Fox shocks and all that. A lot of the hardcore off-roader, they're not impressed with this. But I think Bilstein always do a good job doing shocks, and if they're doing a special shocks developed with the Ram team, I think they're probably good. I have to drive it to really learn more about them. But a big plus about these shocks, it's really their lifetime warranty. So that's a big plus. So if you do a lot of off-roading and all that, I know a lot of guys who own Raptors, after a year or two, the Fox shocks were not good anymore. So with Ram, you got a lifetime warranty. So that's a big plus for the TRX. Speaking of stats, also you've got 1,310 pounds payload, and also 8,100 pounds of towing capacity. That's a bit higher than the Raptor. Looking at these numbers, it's kind of similar, but still you're able to tow a little bit more. That's something, you know, a lot of the Raptor owner guys, they were not impressed with. It's the towing capacity. But when you have a long travel suspension, there's no miracle to do there. If you want to tow more than 10,000 pounds, it's not the truck for you. One cool thing also, it's the first pickup truck, I could say, what I think of, with a launch control. So speaking of performance, the TRX is able to do the 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds, the 0 to 100 miles an hour in 10.5 seconds, and also the quarter mile just under 13 seconds with 12.9 seconds at 108 miles an hour, and a top speed of 118 miles an hour. This truck is pretty quick for an off-roader. So the team at Ram been you know, really testing this truck at their new facility. They've been doing more than 1,000 miles non-stop while doing off-roading. They had no failure with this truck, and blah blah blah. That's what they were saying. We'll see, you know, with the you know, real owner, what it would be in off-road condition. But still, this truck, it looks built to last. That's something. It looks tough, you know. It looks, it's able to take the abuse, and also it looks, it's really built to handle the HELLCAT engine. One cool thing also you'll find inside of the TRX, it's some you know, really nice finish with carbon fiber. You got also a nice badge with the VIN number and all that in the center console, a little bit like the F-150. They're doing that with the limited edition and all that, but it's nice, you know. I don't expect Ram to build 10,000 units per year of this TRX, so probably it's going to be limited, and you're gonna have your number and all that, so you can keep a little bit your value of your investment. Speaking of investment, this truck is not cheap. A little bit more expensive than the Raptor. You know, at first they were talking about, you know, really head to head, you know, same kind of price. The Raptor start around mid 50,000, you know, in the US. Here in Canada, you know, a really, you know, base Raptor is around 72,000. The base price for the TRX is around 70,000 US, so it's a good, you know, about a 15,000 more. That's something we can expect with that powertrain. But still, here in Canada, we can expect probably around 92,000-95,000 Canadian. Gets really expensive for a pickup truck, but you know, more and more we have more power, more capacities and all that. That's you know, a price I was expecting. At least this truck seems to be under 100 you know, thousand, so that's a big plus. But I wish it could be a little bit cheaper. And a big plus also for that TRX, you're able to get one who's really more basic with a cloth interior. So if you're a real off-roader and you don't really care about fancy leather seats and fancy material inside of your TRX, you can get cloth you know, finish. So that's a big plus the Raptor doesn't have, and they should offer a cloth seat in the Raptor. But the only cloth Raptor I've seen so far, it's the one you know, the Border Patrol are using in the US-Mexico border. So overall, you know, the TRX, I'm really excited. I can't wait to drive one. Even considering maybe buying one, maybe, you know, replacing my 84 for a TRX. I think this truck's got a lot of potential, especially with that HELLCAT engine. I think you can boost it up really easily to more than 800, maybe 1,000 horsepower. And what's really cool also, this engine is really protected to do some off-roading, and it's really built, you know, to handle the abuse. Take a look under the hood. We can see really that engine is well protected and also built to be in the dust and in the mud and all that. So that's a big plus also. So overall, you know, cool truck. A bit expensive, but I was expecting that kind of price. So let me know what you think about the Ram TRX. Are you excited about this truck? Are you a Raptor owner and you're kind of pissed? Yes, I know a lot of you guys are gonna say the Ford teams is working on a new Raptor with a V8 engine. There's a lot of rumors out there. We've seen some mules going around Detroit and growling like a big V8. Maybe they're gonna put the GT500 powertrain on their hood. Who knows? That's the rumor. But the thing is, Ford need to step up their powertrain to match that big power Ram is offering. And also GM, you know, small rumors, not a lot of rumors, but there's some things down the pipeline. I think Silverado, ZRX, that's the rumor. It's gonna compete against those two. You know, GM needs to bring something to the table so we can have some fun. So don't forget to subscribe, share my video, and we're gonna see each other on a next podcast, news, reviews.